been here before?
We were the holders.
North London.
South West London.
What's her day?
We were favourites.
My mate Dan cuts in from the left.
Goes for goal and scores!
Unstoppable.
Just not our day.
Great memories.
Things have changed since then.
Could this be the first goal of the semi-final? It is!
Now we've knocked out the holders.
Can she do it brilliantly by herself? Oh yes, she can!
We've won this 14 times.
Time for revenge.
For a repeat.
A repeat.
Revenge.
Time for a repeat.
Time for revenge.
2 years on, and it's Arsenal and Chelsea ladies again in the Women's FA Cup final, with another record crowd expected by the FA for this capital clash as Wembley hosts the showpiece event for just the 4th time. And what a glorious day to have this showpiece final. With me, two players who know just what it feels like to lift the Women's FA Cup. Rachel Brown-Finnis did it with Everton against Arsenal in 2010. Alex Scott has won it 9 times. But Alex, having lifted the trophy 2 years ago, you've decided not to be involved today. You're not in the playing squad. We're delighted to have you with us, but how hard was it to make that decision?
Honestly, it was one of the hardest decisions I've made throughout my footballing career. I think it would have been very selfish of me. I've been hampered with injuries over the last couple of years, and I don't feel like I deserve to be out there today. It's all about work ethic. And for me, I'm still captain. I should lead by example. And like I said, it would have been selfish of me to take one of my teammates' spots today, so no.
But you, like Rachel, have seen the progression of this competition, obviously in line with the progression of women's football, and to have a crowd expected to be record-breaking at Wembley just 5 years after less than 5,000 people watched the final at the Wembley Stadium. What a mark of the progression, and I know for you a very emotional day.
Yeah. But it's just great. I suppose that's what makes me smile. When you see the progression that women's football has been on, and I've been there from the 8-year-old when we wasn't professional. It was a dream to be here at Wembley, playing in FA Cup finals like that. And it's such a showpiece occasion for women's football.
You are very much part of that DNA as well, winning it in 2010, Rachel. And, you know, the atmosphere, seeing the girls in the crowd here, the young girls who have these guys as role models on the pitch today.
That's the most important thing, Gabby, for me, is girls and young boys, which we see today. The crowd is littered with families being here, having the visibility of role models actually on the pitch, you know, live on BBC One. Everybody in the country will be watching this, and that for me is where women's football is right now, and generally women's sport as well. It's just a wonderful place to be at, and as you said, to have been a part of that development, I think we both feel very proud of that.
Arsenal have got this incredible heritage in the competition, 14 times winners. Chelsea are a bit kind of newer to the party in terms of the FA Cup, but they have certainly been the team in the ascent in the last couple of seasons. And would you have them, or would you edge them just as favourites today?
They absolutely come into this game as favourites. If you look at their form in the WSL, they're unbeaten. And when you've got players like Fran Kirby in phenomenal form, and some of the other players, and then actually Arsenal come off the back of a loss. They lost 3-0 to Birmingham last weekend. Actually, when you look at the two teams, Gabby, Chelsea have got the more experienced players, actually. They've been in more cup finals than the likes of a Jordan Nobbs or a Dan Carter, actually.
I think Alex is trying to paint Arsenal 14 times winners as the underdogs today. I'm not quite sure Rachel would agree. We'll have a little chat about that in a moment. But let's hear from the coaches for now. Emma Hayes won the Cup as Chelsea manager in the first Wembley final against Notts County in 2015. She's expecting twins next month, so she won't be leading her team out today. Her opposite number, though, is Australian Jo Montemuro, who is much more recent to the women's game here. Joined the Gunners earlier this season, and they've both been talking to Ailey Barber.
Arsenal have such a huge history of this trophy. They've become a side known as cup specialists. There must be a lot of confidence in your dressing room going into this match.
Oh, thanks for the pressure. I really appreciate it. Look, obviously the tradition is there, and obviously cup finals are cup finals, and it's on the day. And we've been fortunate enough to be part of many fantastic events, and hopefully today's another one.
This is what you work hard for. I'd say to the players, you know, when you're freezing cold in January and you don't want to come out to training, it's for days like today. So I'm proud of the players, and equally to think we're going to be playing in front of a record crowd, importantly shows again the growth of the game.
Chelsea are a team that you haven't managed to beat in the league yet. Does that count for anything at all when you come to a cup final on this stage?
I wouldn't think so. They're a very good side. I've said it many times. They've got cover all over the pitch. They're a powerful team, and whatever starting 11 they put out is very powerful and strong. And look, we're looking forward to a great game. You've got some of the best players in the world out there on show, and I just think it's going to be an amazing event.
It's been a really busy couple of weeks for your squad, but you've named a really strong side today, and it's a really experienced squad as well that you've named. How important will that side of it also be?
Well, there is experience, as you mentioned. They're accustomed to high-level games on a regular basis, both internationally and at club level, and that does add some weight to such a big game today. But it counts for nothing really when two top teams go out. It's a single game. It's not about league form necessarily. It's about who shows up on the day. So I'm hoping that experience counts for us.
Emma Hayes, as I say, is going to be in the dugout, but Paul Green leading the side out. But for Arsenal, you say not as experienced. You've still got Kim Little, one of the great players in global football, and also plenty of the Dutch side who prevailed at the European Championships in there.
I suppose when I talk about experience, I mean on these sorts of occasions, when you look at the team in 2016, the core of that team, you had Kelly Smith, Farrah Williams, Casey Stoney, and it allowed the likes of Jordan Nobbs and Dan Carter to kind of have no pressure on them, just go out there and play. But today, actually, they need to step up and be those leaders.
And for Chelsea, Rachel, Katie Chapman at the heartbeat of that side, at 35 years old, has so much experience. And what they've done in the league this season as well, this will be a side filled with confidence.
I mean, her record alone is unbelievable in this competition. And you're right, their form in domestically is phenomenal, as Alex mentioned earlier. But in this, they do have an element of revenge, from 2 years ago, absolutely. And I've no doubt Emma Hayes will be drilling that in. Remember 2 years ago, because there's a good number of players who were part of that. And I think she's been very astute in her selection today with having some of those core players from that occasion who have that experience to draw on.
Who were burnt and hurt that day, and they want to get rid of those feelings. Well, on the bench for Arsenal today is Danielle Carter, who scored the only goal in that 2016 final. She's been remembering that moment with Alex.
Danielle Carter to attack on the Arsenal left-hand side, goes for goal and scores! The opening goal of the 2016 Women's SSE FA Cup final.
Another huge game coming up for Arsenal women, a trip to Wembley again. But before we talk about that one, let's go back to 2016 and that FA Cup final.
Just playing at Wembley alone was on my bucket list. It was a dream that I've always dreamt about growing up as a young girl. But yeah, fortunately for me, I managed to get the winner for us that day, and yeah, it was magnificent. I mean, I think I've seen it about 1 trillion times since it happened. But yeah, I remember receiving the ball from Casey, taking a few touches in and out, and then bending it into the top corner, which at the time was just crazy.
You'd already attempted that shot before. So what goes through your mind that I'm just going to keep doing this?
I remember on the day, I think in the first few minutes, I actually had a shot. So I thought from then, just try my luck, literally just try my luck. The first one didn't go in, try again, and then for the one that actually did go in, it turned out to be quite a good goal, so just has to keep going.
What a fantastic goal from Dan Carter.
If I'm looking to bend it to the far corner, I would have to approach it to use the inside of my foot. And obviously your foot placement with the opposite leg would have to be close enough to the ball so you're well balanced to actually get that bend on it. Obviously if you're too wide, then you're going to be stretching. So the idea is just to knock out your feet. It's the one.
Going into this game, this cup final, who do you think goes in as favourites?
That's a difficult question. I think beginning of the season you would have said Chelsea. But with Joe coming in and how he's transformed our season, so to speak, I think it'll be a very tight game. They always are, London derbies. And the FA Cup's a one-off game, so anything can happen on the day. We're already the leading team in English football, so we want to keep that on. We want to carry on winning trophies, carry on writing our name in history.
Well, there is Danielle Carter. She's a substitute today, and she scored, of course, for Arsenal in their semi-final at Everton just 3 weeks ago. Well, in the Chelsea starting lineup is England international Millie Bright. She was born just a few miles down the road from fellow central defender Gary Cahill, who's also looking forward to a Chelsea FA Cup final in a couple of weeks' time. They've been comparing notes ahead of their respective days out at Wembley.
Hello.
Hi, you okay?
Right. Yeah, good, thank you. I know you was from near me, back home, growing up, so I just wanted to know who you supported.
All my family, my uncles were Sheffield Wednesdayite, so they obviously got me into that, and they didn't want me being a Blade, so yeah, Wednesday was the team that we followed. Who were the biggest influences in your career and kind of like pushed you towards becoming professional?
The biggest influences for me was my parents. I think I was in Aston Villa Academy, which from where we lived was like an hour and 20 minutes down the motorway, so my dad used to do that 2-3 times a week.
So kind of like my family, like yours, travelling everywhere, sacrificing a lot of their life to take me to games and stuff. You know, other people said I wouldn't make it, or, you know, it's a waste of time kind of thing, and they were like, do what you want to do, make sure, you know, you put 100% into it, whatever it is that you do. You know, they've really been my biggest supporters, and I think being successful is something that we can give back to them, so I always look at it in that way. Were you always going to be a defender, or did you start somewhere else?
No, believe it or not, I played centre midfield when I first went to Villa. I was a reasonable height, or normal height, and then I think it was probably 16 when I shot up. And then they put me to centre back, and to be honest, I found the game a lot easier.
And it's cleared off the line by Cahill.
What about yourself?
I actually started as a striker, and then obviously moving to Chelsea, that's when I flickered from midfield to centre back. I loved it in midfield, obviously, like you said, getting about, you know, getting stuck in, and obviously moving into the England setup, I flickered again, so centre mid to centre back, and then obviously now I'm just kind of set as a centre half, and like you said, I do feel like I've developed in that position, and you know, I've kind of made it my own, and that's where I see myself progressing. So you've played at Wembley quite a few times now. What have been your highs and lows, and any advice really going into this game?
I've been involved in one where we won and one where we lost last year. The one that we lost was obviously horrible. The one we won was fantastic, so do all you can to try and win it.
We've experienced winning and losing. Last year, unfortunately, we didn't make it to the final, but obviously the previous years we did. I just think we're in a better position now, and as a team I think we've really bonded and gelled, and we've played Arsenal before, we know what they're all about, and we want to make sure that we nail our game plan, and I think everyone's excited. We've got players in the team that have never been to Wembley and, you know, experienced what it's like walking out in front of 40,000 fans, so I think it's going to be an incredible game and a real special moment for the team.
I want to wish you all the best from myself and the lads. I know you've had a fantastic season so far, and I hope you've gone to lift the trophy.
We all really appreciate your support, and I can speak for all the girls and the members, the staff down there, so thank you.
Well, Gary Cahill's day will come in a couple of weeks' time. For Chelsea, though, Frank Kirby, Emma Hayes said, the coach, that she just loves this competition. She scored twice against City in the semi-final. She scored 3 in the competition so far, and you wouldn't bet against her getting on the score sheet again today, Rachel.
No, absolutely not. I mean, she loves every competition. Champions League. I mean, she's been a revelation for England as well. She's just technically so gifted, and I think what she's come on this season is her decision making. I think she's put on, she's looking very, very sharp. Amount of muscle that she has really improved her game. She's much more dynamic than she used to be, and she's free of injury, which I think this season's made the biggest difference.
Yeah, I think that's definitely, she's been plagued with so many injuries throughout her career, but she's on this run of form. Emma Hayes can pick her week in, week out, and you can see that's given her so much confidence on the field.
OK, we're almost ready for the teams to come out, so it just remains for me to ask you to predict this one. Are you going with the favourites, Rachel?
I am. Wembley tends to, FA Cup finals tend to favour the favourites, so I'm going to go with the Chelsea win.
You've changed your mind.
I know, I'm pregnant, I'm allowed to.
I'm going Arsenal, Gabby, 2-1.
Arsenal because of their experience in this.
We like FA Cup finals, so I'm going with Arsenal.
Well, the teams are there, they're ready to make their way out onto the pitch, and they will receive a glorious reception, a record crowd expected. It's time for the 2018 SSE Women's FA Cup Final, so to talk us through it, a very good afternoon to Sue Smith, twice a cup finalist with Leeds, and Jonathan Pearce.
Good afternoon, Gabby. Good afternoon, everybody. Soaring, searing temperatures today. Glorious Wembley day in front of what should be a record crowd. Chelsea being led out there to their 4th cup final by assistant manager Paul Green, with Emma Hayes, the boss, 33 weeks pregnant in these temperatures. She's been advised to take it a bit easier today, but knowing Emma, that's unlikely to happen. She's a remarkable person. She will be in the dugout, and her team looks to seal a remarkable double this season. They're now 2nd in the WSL behind Manchester City on goal difference, but they're hot favourites here on this hot afternoon to gain revenge for their 2016 defeat by Arsenal, who've won this competition 12 times in the last 20 years. Can they upset the odds again today, sir?
That's a really good question, and you've got 2 very good teams there. Both like to play possession football, got very strong individual players that can make things happen. I'd say Chelsea are favourites, but I thought that in 2016 and Arsenal went and won it 1-0, so tough to call. I would say maybe a slight Chelsea victory.
Chelsea supporters are in the main behind the goal to your left-hand side. Out come the honour party. Let me just add something about Emma Hayes. She gave each of her players today an orange rose to wear into the stadium from her own garden. She's a keen gardener, and she's given them all a note that says enthusiasm and desire and unlimited energy are symbolised by those orange roses. They indicate pride and best wishes. It's the bridge between platonic love and friendship. It denotes the inspiration in your life, and it says, I'm so proud of you. And that is so Emma Hayes.
It really is. It's such a nice touch, and that's what Emma Hayes is so good at. It's those small things, those small margins that she looks into to get her team the best possible shape for games like this.
And what a moment there for Paul Green, who you know so well.
I do, yes. He was my assistant manager at Doncaster Bells, and he is so proud to lead the team out. He's always in the background, but he does so much good stuff, very well organised, and he'll help Emma a great deal, and today it is just a proud moment for him.
Well, there's Emma Hayes, the 48th Women's FA Cup final, the fourth to be played here. And Chelsea and Arsenal have both ensured that a London club featuring in the final for the 23rd time in 24 seasons. Southampton won the very first one back in 1971, and they beat a Scottish side, Stewarton and Thistle, in the final, now Kilmarnock ladies. But since the FA took charge of things properly and the game became more professional, it has been the teams linked with men's clubs who have dominated. And Chelsea look to be the dominant side in women's football in England in the next few weeks. Here's the anthem. The singer, as my old granddad would have said, she fair belted that one out. Let's have a look at the lineups for you then, and we'll start with Arsenal, who show a couple of changes from the semi-final win over Everton. The European champions Van der Donk and Medina come in, so there are 4 members of that victorious touch side in the lineup. Settled back 4, Kim Little, who scored in 3 finals, captains the side. Jordan Nobbs looking for a 5th FA Cup triumph. Meads in brilliant form. Medina sat out the last 2 games to get ready for this. Only Van Veenendaal, Mitchell and Nobbs started the 2016 final. Yeah,
Jansen's going to be that holder midfielder that's going to protect the back 4, and Nobbs has got a bit of a free role, so she's like a false winger, so she will come in field. She will play off Medina and Mead, and she'll be the one that wants to get on the ball and make things happen.
Chelsea have 6 survivors from the final 2 years ago. Lindahl, Blundell, Chapman, who's looking for a 10th FA Cup success. Bright Spencer, she missed this season's semi-final on South Korean international duty. Mona Bachmann, who was ill that day, she comes in as a second change from the win over Manchester City. 9 of that side went out of the Champions League semi last weekend. Wonder how much that took out of the team.
They'll be disappointed, but I'm sure they'll have refocused from then on. And you look at Chelsea's key players for me, it's that front 3, it's the Spence, Bachmann and Kirby. They play as a unit. They've got a great understanding between them. You know, a real mixture of pace and quality. And then what they also add is that work rate off the ball. So they'll win the ball high up the field, and then they'll set attacks from there.
Temperatures just finally beginning to dip. As the referee for today, a return trip to Wembley for Lindsay Robinson. She was the assistant at last season's final. And assistant Stacey Pearson from Somerset and Kirsty Dow from the Kent Football Association. Katie Chapman, what a remarkable record there on the right-hand side. She's won the FA Cup on 7 occasions on the field of play at the end, but she's looking for a 10th success in all. Arsenal have got to this final in fine style, knocking Yeovil, Millwall and Charlton aside before conceding their first goal in their run in the semi-final against Everton. Good win, that last-minute goal by Quinn. Chelsea thrashed London Bees in round 4. Cuthbert with a hat-trick there. Cuthbert got a couple again against Doncaster. Kirby got a couple against Manchester City when they were deserved winners in that semi, weren't they?
They really were, and what stands out to me is the fact that they've scored 21 goals and they haven't conceded any in that route to the final, and in that they had to play Manchester City, who are a top team.
Arsenal have lost just one of their last 15 finals, though. That's a problem for Chelsea to overcome. They lost against Everton in 2010. They've won all 4 finals they've appeared in since Arsenal. And of course, one of those was 2 years ago when Chelsea admit they got it wrong. They didn't really turn up on the big day that day.
They didn't, and sometimes that's what happens in finals. It's about who turns up on the day, who can cope with the occasion, because it is a massive occasion, and who gets the tactics right, and Arsenal certainly did on that day.
Ramona Bachmann will get the first touch of the 2018 SSE FA Cup final. She will kick us off and away. Chelsea all in blue, kicking from left to right. Temperatures down there pitch side in the 70s, they tell me, and a great roar from the start, and the crowd is significantly swollen. Didn't look anything like 40,000 about 20 minutes ago. They might have been outside enjoying the sunshine, but they've certainly come in late. Here's Bright, gives it away with the ball forward, cleared by Lisa Evans. Right back for Arsenal. It's a right winger for her country. Last season's Europeans, away by Millie Bright. Such a steady player for club and countries. He won this competition in 2015, runner-up in 2016, scored this season against the London Bees. Here's Emma Mitchell with the throw. Having 3 ties this season, the Scottish international. And she'll take the throw once again then for Arsenal. We have Scottish fullbacks on both sides. Played out by Leah Williamson, who's had a very good season. And Louise Quinn, the Irish player who scored that last gasp winner against Everton in the semi-final. Arsenal look to the left, and Beth Mead, away by Hedvig Lindvall, the Chelsea goalkeeper.
You can see straight away that's what Arsenal are looking to do. They're trying to play that ball to Beth Mead out wide here. Chelsea playing 3 at the back. That's where the space is in those channels. And Beth Mead's got the pace to be able to exploit that.
Sarah van Veenendaal, the Dutch European Championship winning goalkeeper. You thought she was going to be suspect in that tournament. She was a star.
Yeah, absolute star. She performs so well.
And Janssen was part of that team as well, and she plays it wide to England's Beth Mead. To run Millie Bright on the outside, good work, in it comes, and just touched away by the experience of Chelsea's Katie Chapman back in there. And a free kick here then for Chelsea.
Yeah, this was just a pullback, wasn't it, by Van der Donk? They know that Bachmann, she's a danger. When she gets running, she's got that pace to get by players, and they'll want to stop her early on. Don't let her get into the game.
Gee, I thought although they looked comfortable in the end against Manchester City, for me, I still think they missed Ji So-young. A good scoring record against Arsenal, actually. 4 goals against them in 12 meetings. That's now for Arsenal. It's a good early ball in, looking for Medema. And Chelsea were hard pressed. G, pressure on him, pressure on her by Kim Little. But she's an elegant player on the ball. And she's again just recently passed 100 caps for South Korea. She's their top scorer. Katie Chapman first won the Cup as a 15-year-old at Millwall. Won it with Fulham, won it with Arsenal on 3 occasions, and won it with Chelsea in their only success. Spence away to the left-hand side. And Anderson pushing forward from left wing-back. Drew Spence in this formation plays just off the front 2. And it comes towards Spackman, the Swiss international. A bit of a collision. Millie Bright and Marion Mjelde, the Norwegian international. That's a good signing.
Yeah, she's been a great signing for them. She can play that holding midfield role if you need her to. She seems to just fit in as a centre-half. Very good on the ball.
Anna Hayes was making a point this week that the fact though that Chelsea have evolved as a club more naturally in this new professional era than say Manchester City have. There's G into Spence, and back it comes then to Chapman. So that's when we get the ball in from the right-hand side. Here's Blundell. Kirby's first touch in the game, looks for the return. Double Football of the Year, BFA Football of the Year, and first time ever the Football Writers Association Player of the Year. What a campaign she's had, 22 goals for her club this season. She scored 128 in her last 119 for club and country.
It's not bad, is it? And the fact that she's winning all of these individual awards is fantastic for her, but what it says as a person, she came out and said, I would give all of those away if I could win something for Chelsea. I could win the FA Cup this season, I could win the Champions League. It says all about her.
Forward by Emma Mitchell. Good cover by Hannah Blundell. And here's Medina. Early ball in. And tied up again by Marion Mjelde. A little nudge on her, but it was a decent ball in by Medina, who was one of the Dutch stars of last summer's European Championship. She scored 4 goals in those finals.
Arsenal have started well.
They have.
They're pressing high up the field. They got the pace of Beth Mead on one side, Jordan Nobbs on the other, who will float in, but she will also stay wide when she needs to. And Medina, that you can see that they're scared of her pace.
Never been a 0-0 draw in the Women's FA Cup final. That's absolutely ruined the day for you. With 6 minutes gone, you know what's going to happen now.
Can't believe you said it.
You never know. We might have an 8-2. Southampton beat QPR 8-2. In the final at Slough Town in 1978. Pat Chapman scored 6 that day. Here's Nobbs looking for Medina, glanced away by the left side centre-back Eriksson. And now Chelsea can break 3-on-3. And here's Kirby. Batman's away to the left, Spence joining in. Kirby with the confidence to take 1-on-2 on. And in the end it was pushed away for a corner kick by Louise Quinn, I think it was, who got there.
She's so dangerous, Fran Kirby. You can see her strength there, first of all, and then when she gets the ball, she's driving, she's looking for an option. She's seeing Backman sort of runs into the space, but then that allows Fran Kirby to drive in there. But in the end, Arsenal got good numbers back.
Interesting that Phil Neville is starting to use her now. He's here today, by the way, the England coach, in that slightly deeper role where she can run at defenders from that position. Corner kick to Chelsea to be taken by Rebona Backman. And eased away at the near post. Schenkel header out. It was by Medina. And a good ball forward. Ronna Andersson, Swedish international defender, was there. Here's Spence. Away from Williamson. Back to Katie Chapman. Former Arsenal player, of course. Katie Chapman won 6 league titles and 3 FA Cups with them. Here's Kirby. Now Blundell. Good early ball in, and a real chance missed by Bachmann. Should have hit the target.
She should have, but lovely play from Chelsea. Little intricate passes. They go in little triangles and 1 and 2 touch. So difficult to mark. What a turn that is. But then when she gets free, like you say, you've got to hit the target there. But what a lovely turn. Nutmegs Mitchell. And then just tries to strike through the ball. Right thing to do, going for the far corner, but get it on target.
German Cup winner at Wolfsburg. She signed for Chelsea from them in December of 16. It's another promising run from Mitchell. Arsenal looks strong down their left-hand side. Mobbs has come across this left. She has a free roll to roam from wing to wing. No free kick given. The referee was right up there. You'll notice there wasn't a protest from an Arsenal player. You'll notice there were no theatrics. There wasn't a dive. Get up, get on with it. Very much the order of play. And I know how many of you watching tonight appreciate that in the women's game. And as it develops and becomes more professional, more high profile, more pressurised, I hope it doesn't change. Anderson into Katie Chapman, and back then to Magdalena Eriksson, Stockholm-born Swedish international, and Millie Bright, Chesterfield-born England international. It's a lovely ball. To Anderson, looks for the run of Kirby. Williamson's across there with her. Stood her up, did well. Oh, brilliant turn from Kirby. And Williamson will get it away. Chelsea's men, of course, come back here in a couple of weeks to play in the FA Cup final against Manchester United. They will certainly have to be better than they were at Brighton last night. And couldn't really get the ball forward. Whether it was Dominic Janssen. And now again deep into Arsenal territory. Kirby trying to wriggle away and get the shot off. And it will be cleared here now by Louise Quinn.
So tenacious, Fran Kirby. Every time she gets the ball, you think that something's going to happen. I would like to have seen Bachmann maybe gamble a little bit more there. She stood back. You know where Fran Kirby's going to cross the ball.
Here's Beth Mead. A couple of cameo roles for England in the recent World Cup qualifiers against Wales and Bosnia. She's had a wonderful season, 22-year-old. Searing pace, Mead scored in the cup against Millwall, against Everton. She's a county hockey player, county athlete, I think, in her time. A great campaign, isn't she?
Oh, it really is, and deservedly so. Got called up for England. Just very confident now as well. I think Arsenal have really brought that out of her. Very direct, and she's got a new position as well, playing out wide, which she seems to be enjoying.
She's gone down that line again. Should Emma Mitchell get it out to her? Has another chance now. There's no one attacking the penalty area here for Arsenal. Little, the captain, into Midema. And back it comes to Dominic Janssen, a member of that Dutch team. Although she only played one appearance, she came on in the final. There's Knobs. 4 times an FA Cup winner, Knobs with Arsenal. She was a runner-up for Sunderland as well when Arsenal beat them. And she looks to get on the end of that. Away by Mjelde. Minutes gone, no goals. We think it's going to be a record attendance, beating the 35,271 for last year. Reports that 40,000 tickets have been sold by May the 1st, and more tickets sold today. The weather will help. There's the Arsenal coach, Montemurro, who was a player in Italy for a while, Serie C level, 3rd tier level. He's moved around as a bit as a coach. He's had 12 moves in 16 years. Oh, it's bounced over Millie Bright. Here's a chance now for Beth Mead for Arsenal. Can she get away? Good cover by Mjelde. Did really well. Error of judgment by Millie Bright. It's something of a rarity, so.
It is, and she did just mistime it. You could see what she was trying to do, coming out to meet the ball, but yeah, it was a mistake, and Mjelde made up for it.
Well, Arsenal's plan, I think, mainly is to get the ball wide for Mead to take on Hannah Blundell.
I think they know, because both Chelsea fullbacks like to get forward. That is where the space is.
England regular now is Millie Bright. Only lost 3 of her 10 appearances against Arsenal, but she got caught up by the bounce there.
Yeah, she did. You could see she was trying to come in to win the ball, but completely mistimed it.
Arsenal have appeared in 13 of the last 20 finals. They've won 12 of those. She'll take this free kick. Crowd noise rises. And header over. Quinn up from the back.
She's a danger player from set pieces. Jordan Nobbs, good delivery to the back post. And you can see Katie Chapman doesn't expect it to come, because she's running round. It was a good run from her. You go wide to come in. Just couldn't get it on target.
Very late on when she scored that goal in the semi-final. Dan Carter got the first. She can count herself a little bit unlucky, Carter, not to be in the starting lineup, but when you have someone with the pedigree of Vivian Miedema there, 51 international goals and 65 games for Holland. Difficult to break in.
Yeah, I suppose that's what's good for Arsenal, that they do have that competition for places, especially in the forward areas, and she's going to be an impact off the bench if they need her.
Here's Spence. And can they get the cross in from Anderson? It's come through to Kirby, sets her sights, good block. But she had too much room initially there in that penalty area. Arsenal need to be more watchful. Little, back to Van der Donk. What do you think of Danielle Van der Donk playing in that deeper holding position?
It's a different position again for her, and she can do it. She's got the energy, she's got the strength to get around and press people, harry people. You know, she's not afraid to put a tackle in, but I do like her that little bit further forward. But she will join in, she will be that midfield runner, and I suppose she's got the energy to do that. So I didn't really answer your question, did I?
No. Well, there you are. Why change the habit of a lifetime? Here's Bright. Back to G. And to Spence. The wholehearted player is Drew Spence. Look out wide by Backman. Should be the goalkeepers. Good early call. Bumped into a big fan of yours actually coming in today, gentleman. Said his granddaughter will be delighted that you're doing the co-commentary again. Big fan. Is she here? And I said, no, she's actually at Warwick Services Station at the moment. She's just buzzed me on the phone. Oh, how long will she be here? I said, do you know Sue's sense of geography? He said, no. I said, she could come out of Warwick Services and turn north. Quite easily. It's true.
I am here,
I'm not having a needless go at you there, am I?
No, that is very true. That is very true. My sense of direction's not great.
And you're off to do a presentation at Bognor tomorrow. Now, which way do you go from London, would you say?
I shouldn't tell you anything before commentary, should I? I know it's a couple of hours and I'll put it in the sat-nav, I'll be fine.
Here's Bright. Van der Donk. Just think she was very expansive in the European Championship final. She's a gifted player. I wonder if she's limited in this role. Came on as a sub in that final a couple of years ago.
I think what she adds to the midfield is she will look for like a little pocket of space, and when she gets on the ball, she will drive forward. I suppose it gives that extra little bit from deeper for Arsenal.
0-0, Chelsea the favourites, but Arsenal have lost one of their last 5 meetings against them. 3-2 it was for Chelsea this season in WSL back in January. And the Blues led 3 times that day. Mjelde scored, Medema equalised, G put Chelsea ahead, Janssen again equalised within 3 minutes, and then Sarah van Veenendaal, the goalkeeper, put through her own net 7 minutes from time. I think she's got a couple of own goals, actually, the Arsenal goalkeeper against Chelsea. Evans gets forward in support, and it's for Jordan Nobbs, early ball in for Medema, came off Blundell. It wouldn't come out to Beth Mead. Arsenal still attacking though. Here's Kim Little. It's a corner ball. Chelsea had shaved it away from the cross from the talented Scots international.
Good play from Arsenal. Again, they're getting at Chelsea out wide in those wide positions, both Mead on this side and Nobbs on the other. But Kim Little, when you get her into that area, you've got to close her down quicker, because you know what she's going to do. You know she's going to try and aim at the far post on her favoured right foot.
Kim Little's first game here since the Olympics of 2012, when she was in the Great Britain team. Cruelly missed the Euros in the summer, injured. Here's Jordan Nobbs. A glance on there by Quinn. She's a real danger in that penalty area. Arsenal appealing for a penalty for handball on the ground. Here's Medema beyond Spence. It was deflected. Big deflection. Just wide. Chelsea were wobbling.
It's an important block for Chelsea there. You could see what Medema was trying to do. You know, nice bit of skill initially to get past Drew Spence. I think it's Blundell that actually gets the block. That's the handball. I don't think that's a handball.
I think it ricocheted so quickly back at Mjelde. She couldn't get out of the way. She didn't deliberately move her arm onto the ball. It wasn't at an unnatural angle or anything. Great family day out. Kids are free. Here comes a corner from Nobbs towards the far post. Untidy defending by Chelsea. Just wonder if the crowd has swollen late on, because there are a few problems on the tubes here in London this weekend. Circle line is closed for bank holiday weekend. 1 or 2 other problems for engineering work. Bank holiday weekend. There you are. Apparently I'm not allowed to criticise. Took me 2.5 hours to get here from London Central's positions to Wembley. There you are. To the edge of the penalty area. Medema. And away there by Chapman.
Do you feel better now you've had that rant?
Yes.
It's good.
Some of the team here today came down from Scotland, got up at our team, that is. The BBC got up crack of dawn to get here. And the Chelsea and the Arsenal players would have been waiting for this day for weeks. And here's Van der Donk. Evans wide, and Jordan Nobbs to the touchline, and the well done you can hear there is from the Chelsea bench for the pressure put on the ball by Katie Chapman.
She forced that error, didn't she, because of that pressing?
She hustles and bustles as she has done throughout her career. She doesn't make sort of 25, 30-yard runs from deep positions. There's a chance for Chelsea and Backman. And this is a good run and a good ball in. And it's not yet away. Comes to G. Backman once again. Spencer's in the middle. Kirby was there as well. Millie Bright. Too much weight on the ball. Comes out to Chapman. Referee might have been in the way there a little bit. Medema now for Arsenal. Very tight FA Cup final. 23 minutes gone, 0-0. Arsenal fans still in sunshine away to the right-hand side. Absolutely baking hot today. Backman, she's been pulled back there by Emma Mitchell, and that should be a yellow card.
Yeah, it's got to be a yellow card.
Well, we do see in the women's game more of this, a referee issuing a warning before a yellow card. And I wish that happened more often across the world of football.
Because in the men's game, that would have been a yellow card, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what Backman will look to do, though. She looked to isolate herself 1v1 with defenders. Such great feet to get by players.
You get Maybank Holiday fetes and fairs all around the country, and that looked like a bit of tug of war. Have I ever told you the story of my drunken tug of war? That's for another day, Sue. It's for another day. There's Eriksson.
Not sure I want to know.
No, you don't really. It's before 9 o'clock anyway. Here's Eriksson with the free kick. Spencer's in there. Chapman in there as well. Towards the far side. Millie Bright!
That's who they were aiming for. Millie Bright coming in at the far post, manages to beat her marker. It's just too high for her.
.20 minutes left in the first half. And Van Veenendahl's other own goal against Chelsea came in Arsenal's last winner against them. It was 2-1 away. WSL July 16. Masada and Van der Donk scored for the Gunners. Nil. Little. Dispossessed by possibly the best player on the pitch so far. G, good 1-2. Is Kirby dancing away here from Evans. Gets the shot off. Solid goalkeeping. And they've got a problem here, Chelsea. Spencer's gone down and stayed down.
Yeah, there was a big tackle between Drew Spencer and Janssen. You see just there, I don't know, she seems to have got up, which is positive. But again, that's what Fran Kirby does, gets a yard, has a shot at goal, just can't get any power on the end. But that's a real good battle between Drew Spencer and Janssen in the middle. There's been a few big tackles there. I think we need to watch out for that.
29 goals in the last 42 games, Fran Kirby. She's become one of the most lethal goal scorers in European football in the women's game. Had that big billing in the World Cup of 15 when she came through, and couldn't quite live up to it in Canada. She had such an explosive start in that competition. She was young at the time. Van der Donk.
I think the girls mentioned it early on as well, the fact that she's now free from injury, so she's able to play on a regular basis, and she looks so sharp.
She's grown more confident as a person as well. Very shy at 2015, but she's certainly more outward going now. I think I remember seeing a conversation between you and her in Canada. She didn't get many words in. There you are. Eriksson now for Chelsea. Chapman. Who's been the better team so far, Sue?
I would probably say Arsenal have edged it. I think Chelsea have had a couple of opportunities with Kirby and Backman, as you would expect, creating things, but I think when Arsenal go forward, especially out wide, they look good, but both teams are keeping possession well. It's such a close game, isn't it? I'd say just slightly edging it.
Arsenal fourth in the WSL, Chelsea second. Arsenal won the Continental Cup earlier this season and lost just once in their last 15 games. It was against Birmingham last weekend. Terrific hat-trick there by Lynn White. Here's Spencer's beginning now to show up more and more in that false nine position. Backman. Blundell available. And finds the fullback now, or the wing-back I should say. Katie Chapman had made a good early run in there. She wasn't seen. Eriksson and Dispense try to give and go. Up towards Midema. She's the outball for Arsenal through the middle. I would suggest she just needs to work a little bit harder at that job. It needs to be a little bit more physical, Sue.
Yeah, I think for holding the play up, you could see there where they played the ball out wide. You know, but that isn't her strengths. Her strengths are in behind. But yeah, if you are that focal point, that number 9, you have to be able to do both aspects of the game.
Here's Black. Now Blundell. Backman. Quinn comes across and covers. Irish international. She was part of that defunct Knox scene, and that team went bust. So 4 years out in Sweden. She developed in the last 18 months, though. That's a dangerous cross, is it? No, behind the goal.
Yeah, she's taken her opportunity, didn't she, Quinn? Went to Arsenal on a trial and they signed her because she did so well.
Good atmosphere, it always is here for the Women's FA Cup final. And I sincerely hope that if this stadium is sold, that the new owner maintains this new tradition of having the Women's FA Cup final, and indeed the finals of the trophy, and the opportunity for the minor clubs to come here and have their dream day out. I understand the need to maximise the usage of Wembley. It is such an iconic stadium, but let's hope the traditions are also maintained. Whether you ever forget the first time you ever come here, for me it was an England schoolboy international against West Germany in the very early 70s. I'll never ever forget it. Here's Chi. And now Backman. Bright. Now, G. Remember being here for an England-Scotland game, and England scored, and myself and my dad jumped up, and we suddenly realised we were in a block with about 10,000 Scots supporters. It was an awkward moment. Now, it's Kirby, back to her. Just too much weight on the ball.
I think Blundell could have hit that. Great play from Fran Kirby.
Good build-up though, wasn't it?
It was very good build-up play, and when it comes to Fran Kirby, you know, this is just that's what she can do. Really, really quick feet. But I think she could have hit it. I think she was looking for it to go 1-2. But be confident in yourself. Have a go.
Interesting that Blundell got forward so far into Arsenal territory, and they didn't see it coming. Nil-nil. Of the Gunners, 14 cup wins. They've kept 9 clean sheets. They've scored 28 goals in their last 10 FA Cup final appearances, but here they're under the cosh at the moment. Batman's having a fine FA Cup final. Just too heavy a touch by Spence. Back to Blundell.
I think the momentum's shifting over to Chelsea now. Really starting to get a grip of the game, especially with Backman. Seems to have so much space to travel into.
Chelsea won the trophy here in the first final to be played at Wembley, their first major honour. And they went on to win the League and Cup double. It was 2015. Fourth final in 7 seasons for Chelsea. And they beat Notts County in that final. G scored the goal, and I would say she's right up there as one of their best players today, along with Kirby. Spencer's worked hard. Here's Bright into Spence. Tucked up behind her again was Dominic Janssen. Kirby. Ryan Willis rises again. Comes across from Anderson.
It's the final ball, JP, isn't it? That's lacking from both teams. They've got themselves into good situations, good areas, and just lacking that final delivery or that final pass.
Arsenal, the most successful women's team in English football. Chelsea, founded by supporters in 1992, catching up fast. Here's Splendour. Into a left foot, a weaker foot. Chi can conjure something out of nothing. Chapman stepping up back to Millie Bright. Chelsea's team only became affiliated to the men's club 14 years ago. And on promotion to the Premier League National Division in 2005. They played at the top level ever since. 10 minutes left in the half. Emma Hayes really determined to prove a point here today. Manchester City have brought in marquee signings and did very well against Lyon, I felt, against the best women's club team in the world. But Emma Hayes has pointed out that the development of Chelsea has been going on a longer basis, and she wants to prove this point this season by winning the league and cup double.
And she's well on her way to doing that. I know it's so tight at the top of the league. This game is so tight. You know, I know she was disappointed with the loss in the Champions League semi-final against Wolfsburg. I think the fact that we've now had 2 English teams in the semi-final just shows the progression of the game in this country. You think they probably just need maybe a year or a couple of years to be competing with those 2 top teams.
You didn't do the commentary with me, did you? You did the Wolfsburg game. I did the Lyon. Did you miss me?
Yeah, loads.
Oh, there you are. That's an untidy ball by Batman. Chelsea's final league games: Birmingham and Sunderland at home, Bristol City away. Bristol City got thumped by Manchester City in the week. That's why Manchester City have gone top again on goal difference. It's very tight here today. Anderson will take the throw. Preferred in that role to Tori's Dottir, who was injured in the semi-final. It's only on the bench.
I just wonder if she's maybe struggling with a knock. She did play in the Champions League semi-final, but you'd think that she's probably the first choice wing-back.
It's an exhausting day. Any FA Cup final day is physically and mentally, but in today's heat, who will last the longer? Bright with an adventurous diagonal, a big diagonal up towards Drew Spence. Do have options on the bench, Chelsea, and Eni Luco and Erin Cuthbert, who we saw in the semi-final. He's been in good goal scoring form this season. No way forward for Arsenal. Gunners have won the last 2 All-London Cup finals. Against Chelsea here a couple of years ago, as we were saying, and in 2007 when they beat Charlton 4-1 at the City Ground, Nottingham. By Magdalena Eriksson. Janssen couldn't get it into Little. And here's Arsenal's young England hopeful, Leah Williamson. And in the senior squad, she was looking for England's vice-captain there, Jordan Nobbs. Leah Williamson was the player you remember who scored that bizarre penalty for England's under-19s. They were playing against Norway. The last 2 minutes of the game were abandoned. They had to come back the next day and play the last 2 minutes. And scored the penalty, and England went through.
I remember that. That must have been such a tough night's sleep, thinking that you had to go on and take that penalty. She's developed so much as a player, though, over the last few years.
There's Chi into Kirby, potential match winner, of course. 5 minutes left in the first half. Van der Donk. Just misplaced the pass. Emily Bright into G. Articulate with the ball is G. Comes from Seoul. Scored a couple of goals in this season's competition. Scored that winner here, and they won the cup. And Beth Mee, we haven't seen a lot of her in the last 10 minutes or so. Blundell, I think, has been pushing her back into the Arsenal half. She's done a good job in the last 10 minutes or so, the Chelsea right wing back. That's given away poorly by Janssen. Kirby can fly at the Arsenal defence here. Will Chelsea score from that Arsenal mistake? G is to her left, back to Kirby, wriggles into the box, steered away by Louise Quinn. Hannah Blundell follows it up. Here's G. She blocked off as she went to get the return by Dominic Janssen, whose first error contributed to that Chelsea move building up. Yellow card for the Dutch European champion.
This is a really good position for Chelsea. I was going to say that Arsenal actually defended that break really well. They got back in numbers, they got themselves organised. This is just G. She's just got such quick feet. It was a foul. It's like a lazy tackle. Just put a foot in there.
Eriksson with 16, got a couple of goals this season. Scored against Everton the other week. As Van Veenendaal lines up the wall. G is to the left of it. Either G right-footed or Eriksson with the left. It's G. Not another FA Cup goal for her yet, nor there.
Poor free kick from G. You expect better from her. Then gets the second attempt to over the wall, but no power at all on it. I wonder if that preferred a left footer on that side.
There were very few chances. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Arsenal haven't had a shot on target yet. Coming up at half-time, don't forget, Gabby will be pitch side with Alex Scott and Rachel Brown-Finnis. There's Frank Kirby. Oh, a lovely touch by Backman. And the shot by G was rising. Best moment of the half so far.
Really is best move of the half as well, and it involves Kirby, Bachmann onto G, who I think you've mentioned a few times has probably been one of Chelsea's best players, very influential in the middle of the park, but just couldn't get a head over it.
Talking about Emma Hayes in this heat, 33 weeks gone. Twins expected in, well, there she is down there in the dugout. And of course, our own Rachel, not long to go as well. Very elegant, I felt, today in that black dress. As we all do in our cup final gear, I think. You're right. It's offside. "30 seconds left in the half, and I would guess no more than a minute stoppage time. We've had the booking, haven't we? Little more than that. Here's Millie Bright. Rundell really pushed on now to force Beth Mead back. Chelsea have been the front foot team for the last 20 minutes, I would say. Here's Chapman, 1 minute of stoppage time then. Signalled by the fourth official down there. Janssen. Midfield down the left-hand side. One thing I've noticed in the first half, Chelsea coach in the dugout, in the technical area, wearing an identical blue strip to the Chelsea kit out there. You don't often see that being allowed by match officials. Here's a strong run. I was trying to get through to it and away by the alert goalkeeper, Hedvig Lindahl. Half-time whistle blows. No goals at half-time, you thought so?
It's been such an even game, very little goal-mouth action, and I think if both teams are going to try and improve in the second half, it has to be that final ball, that decision-making when you go forward, whether it's a pass, a cross, or whether it's just deciding to shoot or not. I think that's where both teams were lacking.
She's been creative. Kirby are dangerous. Van der Donk, we saw a quick shot of her. She went off. I think she's being shackled by her defensive role. Arsenal haven't no shot on target yet, really. It's 0-0 at the break.
Well, the atmosphere has stayed consistently very buoyant throughout that half, in spite of no goals and some nervousness you kind of get around the final third of the pitch when both teams in the first 20 minutes seemed fairly even, making runs, having confidence. But it seems that Chelsea are the team that are in the ascent as the half has progressed. We've repositioned. We're on high in the stadium here. Fantastic vantage point we've had to view the shape of both teams. Would you go along with that, which seems to be the perceived viewing commentary as well, Alex, that it's Chelsea who've grown in confidence?
They really have. Arsenal really started bright, but you could see Chelsea were getting more possession of the ball, and some of their link-up play in the final third has been exquisite and really nice to watch. And I'm nervous sitting here because they're linking up and it's only a matter of time. So I think Arsenal needed this half-time to come so they can regroup.
What's your thoughts on the first 45 minutes, Rachel?
Absolutely. That fluid play between Ji So-young, Fran Kirby and Ramona Bachmann has been sensational at times, and that has been what's causing the damage for the Arsenal back line. And it's, as Alex said, it's a matter of time. They've had strikes, but they've been off target, and I think we'll see one soon where Ramona Bachmann snatched at it, which maybe was a little bit of nervousness those early stages of the game, but certainly Chelsea are on top, and Arsenal will be happy with the two teams that it's still 0-0.
Let's have a little look at one of the players who seems to have been the most instrumental, certainly in driving forwards for Chelsea. Some great runs, Fran Kirby, great strength.
Really has. She's been really alive in this first half. And what's so exciting about Fran Kirby, because we don't see it a lot in women's football, is she gets on the ball and she drives at players. She drives at the heart of the defence, and she keeps doing it time and time again. And as a defender, you're scared. You don't know which way she's going to go because she's bow-footed. But she's been really exciting every time she gets the ball.
She's dropping deeper, picking it up, but then she runs in behind as well. And when you do and you let her face up, she's so tricky with her feet. We see on that occasion there kind of outdoes Leah Williamson, but she is really a thorn in the side for Arsenal.
And she's drawing in defenders, obviously, and creating gaps and space, which Chelsea as yet haven't quite exploited.
Yeah, they haven't. The link-up play with Ramona Bachmann, if it's not G getting them on the ball, it's Fran Kirby. They've just got an array of attacking players. And Arsenal defensively, well, I'd say Chelsea is just finding the pockets in front of Arsenal's back four very easily.
And what they're making Arsenal do as well is the likes of the midfielders of Dominic Janssen and Kim Little, as we see on that occasion, drop deeper and having to double up almost on the likes of Fran Kirby and Ji So-young.
Possibly one of the best chances of the half, the Swiss international Ramona Bachmann, who she's been involved in a lot of that link-up play, as you say, but this was a chance that went begging.
This, absolutely. Ramona Bachmann's always a dangerous player, but this turn nutmegs Emma Mitchell and just snatches at her shot there.
It's exactly that. It's such a beautiful turn. Sold that to Emma Mitchell, as well as the midfielder who's almost pushing out and just drags it wide. You've got to test the keeper in those early stages.
And Arsenal's Vivian Miedema, she's a very, very composed 21-year-old international, isn't she? She's the top scorer in the Champions League. She's scored in every competition that she goes in. She ends up being close to top scorer. And again, very, very close here for Arsenal.
She really is. She's that sort of player. It's kind of like lazy, so you're not sure as a defender what she's going to do. She'll pick the ball up and do a skill, drop her shoulder. But as soon as this, she falls Drew Spence here, and it's a good block by Hannah Blundell there.
You can see what she's trying to do. She opens her body up and she's going for that far side, which you see actually Lindahl, the goalkeeper, reads that. And I mean, she could have really kind of sold her because there was a lot of space at that near post.
What Arsenal seemed to be able to do, and certainly in the first 20 minutes or so, was they were getting wide, and really it wasn't Chelsea's kind of best part of the game, was it? They weren't letting them, obviously, Arsenal weren't getting Chelsea there. It was Arsenal who were exploiting those wings.
Yeah, and with Chelsea playing the three back, the space is always going to be out wide. And Mead getting on the ball here, taking on Millie Bright. It's what Arsenal, they started, and it's obviously their game plan. And with Jordan Nobbs, because normally we see her in the central of midfield, but here her energy and her pace to drive the team forward. But then it's kind of stopped. It's lacking at the moment for Arsenal as we go into this, second half.
Yeah, those early stages, both Beth Mead and Jordan Nobbs were like that bubble, they were effervescing throughout the whole, that half an hour and causing them real problems. And from set plays as well, Arsenal were dangerous.
Interesting to see if Chelsea changed the way that they approach that in the second half, because it does look to be certainly Arsenal's best opportunity is coming from those wings. Well, among the thousands of spectators here at Wembley, we get to hear the official crowd here today. We're expecting a record. Are the current manager of the England women's football team and the manager of the Commonwealth gold medal winning England netball team, their brother and sister, of course, Phil and Tracy Nowell, are talking to Ailey Barber.
Thanks, Gabby. Yes, we're getting a nice cooling spray from the sprinklers behind us here at the moment. And Phil, what a great occasion this is. It gets bigger and bigger every year. How much are you enjoying seeing Wembley as full as this for a Women's Cup final?
Oh, it's fantastic. I actually didn't know what to expect today. They said it was going to be a really good crowd. It's a fantastic crowd. The weather's fantastic. And it makes me really proud, to be involved in the women's game because it's growing really fast. And I'm sat next to Casey Stoney, my assistant up there, and I said I can't wait to have an England women's game at Wembley, sit on the bench, experience something like this. The quality of the football is really good as well.
Do you have your work hat on today, or is today just about fun for you and enjoying the day?
Oh, it's a little bit of both. I've got a lot of England international players out there, so we've got a game against Russia coming up, so I'm checking on their form and fitness. And it's meeting a lot of people, being in the fan zone, and I brought my sister to the game as well, so we don't spend that much time together, so it's nice to spend a little bit of time in my environment rather than hers.
Yeah, and Tracy, you can definitely enjoy yourself because your hard work has been done. What an incredible experience out in the Gold Coast.
Yeah, just amazing. You can ask if you ask for your dream, and it literally, the gold medal encapsulated everything as a player and as a coach. But to my team, when I see these women play on here, it just makes me so proud. Just to see them playing in this sort of arena, and only a year ago we were playing against the world's best and we lost by 1 in Wembley in the arena across the road. So for us to move on to the gold medal, it was an extremely momentous occasion, and hopefully we can attract as many fans as there is today in netball. Hopefully the momentum will keep going and we can make netball bigger and better.
Were you aware of the impact it was having back here when you were out there?
No, my big brother stepped in and said I needed to go on annual leave and take some rest. So the girls, and then when I looked at it and it was like this wave and they were all over the papers, they were all over the media, and for me, that was so pleasing to see that these players were finally getting recognised. They train day in, day out. Some of them give up work to do that. They give up their lives, and yeah, it's just amazing. They've been working to this dream for so long, I say about 20 years, and to actually get it and get the reward for it was just absolutely brilliant.
It was incredible stuff, and I'm sure you were watching on, a proud brother. And now you get your chance to perhaps emulate Tracy when you work towards the World Cup next summer.
She's put bloody pressure on me now, hasn't she? You know, so it's no, you know what? It was taking away my job and everything. It was a proud moment, you know, to see netball probably isn't as popular as football, and to see how it captured the imagination. It was sensational, and can imagine in a year's time, hopefully we go to a World Cup. If we manage to have the same success in a World Cup, look, I think the women's game is heading in the right direction, but I've said all along, to really take it to the heights that we really want, we've got to start winning major tournaments, and in a year's time, first we've got to qualify, but we've got to actually go there and win. And that's my job, I'm afraid, and I'm lucky that every Friday night we go to the local pub and she tells me how she does it.
All the rubs off on you, all the best.
Yeah, I hope it does as well.
And enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for speaking to us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, because Phil Neville is the second most successful England coach in the house at the moment, obviously, so he's got a lot to live up to. But in all seriousness, for women's sport, for women's team sport, that medal, so important. And today, you know, you see here, and I know there are young boys as well, but groups of girls coming to support these teams and believing, you know, that kind of belief that you get from seeing an England netball team win a Commonwealth Games, which is like their World Cup. So important.
It is, and Phil said it right there. When we get to World Cups and we're given the platforms, we've done so well over the past, but now it's going that one step further and getting that medal, that gold medal, and really capturing the imagination of the nation.
Women's cricket have done it, women's rugby have done it. It's time for us to step up. Netball have done it. It's time for England to step up next summer.
France next summer. Phil Neville, of course, taking that team out there. Obviously, qualification yet to be completed. But then, of course, just so to mark your card, there's a Netball World Cup in Liverpool next year as well. So the Nevilles will be all over it next summer. Well, there are only a couple of days left to vote for your BBC Women's Player of the Year. There's a short list of 5 from around the world, and here are the candidates.
Towards Lucy Bronze, that's the touch, that's in. Manchester City lead Birmingham by a goal to 0.
FA Cup at Wembley, scoring the goal, winning the game, you know, the whole experience of that, lifting the cup, yeah, that was probably pretty special. It's something that I'll definitely never forget.
Then all of a sudden Harder is onside and 10 yards away from the nearest defender. Into the penalty area she goes and scores! Sensational stuff, 2-2!
The goal in the final, of course, was was a big moment and a great goal. I hoped that it would turn the game, but unfortunately it didn't.
Oh, Sam Kerr!
I guess breaking the NWSL record's pretty amazing. I don't love talking about myself, but now looking back, I think that's something that at the end of my career I'll look back on and be really, really proud of.
Marojan, premier poteau, et le but! Oh oui! Oh, c'est magnifique! Oh, quel coup de patte! Magique!
The biggest moment, I think, was with my team, Olympique Lyon. We win all the 3 titles. It's an amazing feeling, and I never will forget this.
Into Martin, central position, gets a shot away and scores! And the Netherlands are ahead in the European final with 27 minutes gone.
Winning the Euros, like in your own home country, in front of like the amazing crowd, unbelievable.
And to help you make your decision, you can watch profiles of all the 5 nominees on the BBC Sport website, where you can also read full terms and vote online for your favourite. Voting closes at 9 AM on Tuesday. And please do not try and vote if you're watching this on demand. Let's mark your card about some sport coming up on the BBC. The World Snooker Championships continue tonight, 7:30 on BBC Two. And then match of the day, it's all getting very tight at the bottom. Are there going to be issues decided? 10:30 on BBC One. And Chelsea-Liverpool tomorrow, 4:30, is on Radio 5 Live and the BBC Sport website. And then match of the day 2 completes your weekend tomorrow night, 10:30 on BBC One. OK, let's get the view from the Chelsea dressing room now. Karen Carney is talking to Ailey Barber.
Thanks, Gabby. Karen, such a tense, tight first half. Is that how you expected the game to play out?
I think so. I think both teams have nullified each other out. I thought Arsenal have been very compact and very defensive, haven't really pressed us, and stopped us from counter-attacking, which obviously a massive strength of ours. But I think each team's looking for one another to make a mistake or who's going to go for it more than the other. But I think the second half of the game will definitely open up.
I know you would desperately love to be out there. How are you watching in the stands? How are you feeling through it?
I'm more nervous, like watching. I think if I had caffeine as well, I don't drink it. I've had a coffee and I'm even more nervous now. But it's horrible because you're out of control. But you have so much faith in the girls and the team that they'll get the job done. But it is nerve-wracking because you have no control watching. But you know, I'm sure they'll do as proud as they usually do.
It's been such a long season already for Chelsea. So many matches and big matches. A lot of experience in that dressing room. What's Emma been saying to them as they head out for the second half?
They're very cool and calm in there. I pop my head in there for 5 minutes or so. Nice and relaxed, just a few tactical things. I do think we need to up the tempo a little bit more, but I won't reveal what Elsa said. Can't give our tactics away, but yeah, I think we can move it a little bit quicker and use the whips a little bit more, but still a tight game. I think there's a few more chances in it, so I think we've got to go for it a bit more.
Now the teams are coming out, so we better head back up to Gabby in the studio. Thanks for joining us, Karen. Enjoy the second half.
Thank you, Ailey and Karen. Just a final word then before we rejoin the action. Up the tempo, it seems to be what Karen was saying there. Chelsea have got to do that, haven't they? They've got to keep that pressure up if they want to break through.
Yeah, they do, and carry on exploiting the defence of Arsenal. But for Arsenal, they need to start exploiting once again the channels of Chelsea.
And make the most and be very efficient when they get the chances, Arsenal, especially on set pieces.
OK, let's get back out there. As I say before, the atmosphere for the whole of that half was fantastic. Let's rejoin our commentary team where the atmosphere is always electric between Sue Smith and Jonathan Pearce.
Thank you very much. They're out then for the second half. And there's Chelsea's most potent force. 22 goals this season for Fran Kirby, 5 in this competition against an Arsenal side who, as the first half wore on, got deeper and deeper and deeper, Sue.
They did. They started off well. They clearly had a game plan, didn't they, to work the ball out wide. It's either Beth Mead or Jordan Nobbs on the other side, and it did work for them. You think, keep doing that, but Chelsea just started to dominate possession. They started to get further and further forward and creating more chances.
So Arsenal will kick us off and underway with the ball at the feet of Vivian Miedema, the Dutch international who has 8 goals this season. Missed the last 2 games in preparation from this. With a great scoring record at Bayern Munich over the 3 years there. Youngest Dutch league player ever. She was 15 when she made her debut, and she gets us off and underway in this second half. Arsenal in the red and white, kicking from left to right towards the old tunnel end of Wembley Stadium. Here's Kirby into G, looking for Spence. Just dispossessed in there by Dominique Janssen, but she couldn't hold on to the ball. Chelsea have only lost 4 of their 32 games this season. And they rarely fail to score in a game, only 3 times in those 32. They are a tough defence to crack. 19 clean sheets this season. There's Lisa Evans. Got forward well in the early moments of the game, as did Emma Mitchell on the left. And Chelsea pushed them back. There's the cross from Evans, blocked. Too sure if the tactic of having Jordan Nobbs as a free roaming forward, moving from wing to wing, has worked. There's Little.
I think what they're trying to do is get overloads, aren't they, in different parts of the field. It's worked at times.
And here's Backman. Looking for Kirby to get in behind. And Emma Mitchell had to dig in deep and get it away. Well, that victorious team a couple of years ago against Chelsea. She won the Scottish Cup a couple of times as well. And 3 league titles when she was a Glasgow City player. Here's G. Looking for Backman. Kirby. Back to the Swiss international. Chelsea lead. The best 2 players on the pitch combined, and Ramona Backman puts Chelsea 1-0 up, deservedly so.
What a great start to the second half by Chelsea, and who else but those 2 linking up. They play so well together. They've just got a real understanding. Their movement is so good and they're so difficult to play against. She actually starts the move. Great turn. Kirby straight away knows exactly where Backman wants it, and that's a top-class first touch right into a path. G actually combines as well, who's been excellent, but lovely ball in, great touch out of her feet, and then just smashes it into the top corner.
Delightful finish by the Swiss international. Beautifully worked by Chelsea, and there's no way that Sarri van Veenendaal could keep that out. Chelsea lead with a goal from Ramona Backman.
I think Van Veenendaal actually got a hand to that, or got a touch to it at least, but there's so much power she couldn't keep it out.
Yeah, that's a player who scored 45 goals at international level in 90 appearances for Switzerland, and Emma Hayes side ahead. We hope the afternoon doesn't get too dramatic for Emma. I'm certainly not commentating on anything if it does get too dramatic. I'll leave that to you, so to be honest.
You can see she's trying to stay calm.
She's trying to keep calm. Here's Evans. Well, that's a good run by the fullback for Arsenal. She just dwelt on a little bit too long, and yet Jonna Andersson got back at her. She's played well on that left-hand side of the defence for Chelsea.
Yeah, she has, because it was good play from Evans initially. That's a lovely ball by Fran Kirby, but it's that, just take a touch out of her feet, and then you can see, yeah, she does actually get a touch to it, but so much power on that. You're not going to keep that out.
Steered away down the line to Jonna Andersson again. Looking for the pace of Kirby. Really worrying Leah Williamson. She's had one of the best, Fran Kirby, one of the best seasons I can remember from any English player in the women's game for many a year.
Have to agree.
Tapped back there by Quinn, and Veenendaal came out and met it, and now Williamson.
She just seems to enjoy those big occasions, those real massive games. When we watched her against Manchester City in the semi-final, she was the difference between the 2 sides. Whether it's creating or whether it's scoring goals.
First half of the periods, they had Backman to the right of her, and she was to the left, and then Drew Spencer's coming from deep positions through the middle, but it's Kirby in the second half, very much the front runner. But here come Arsenal. A chance for Beth Mead. We haven't seen a lot of her. It squirms away from Lindahl, and Arsenal have a corner.
And that's what Beth Mead can do. Cuts in, actually took a deflection, which I think slightly put off Lindahl, but I think you would say as a centre-forward, follow them in, just in case the goalkeeper spills them.
50 minutes gone, Arsenal have had a shot on target for the first time. Nobbs will take the corner. Now watch for big Louise Quinn in there, making that run with the auburn hair. Comes out to the edge of the penalty, back in once again. Cleared by Anderson, out wide by Little. Good ball to Jordan Nobbs, who couldn't control it, slipped away. Don't often see that. She's one of the most consistent players in the sport. Anderson won the couple of times with Linköpings in Swedish football. And this, I think, would be her biggest triumph. A good team, by the way, Linköpings, always have been in recent years. And she's come to the WSL to lift the game to a higher level. And she believed that she should have had a free kick there, Fran Kirby. It's a poor ball out of the Arsenal defence by Mitchell. Chapman, full of running, so strong in a challenge. Takes a hit and goes down. And a bit of feistiness there. And with all due respect to the Arsenal fullback, there would only ever be one winner.
I was just going to say that. There's absolutely no way that you would do that. I think that's what Van der Donk, I don't think she liked that. And then just afters, I don't think there's anything in it. Very competitive, both of those two players.
It was Van der Donk. I thought it was Mitchell initially, but it was Van der Donk. I don't think she'd shy away from a challenge. Sparky character. Comes the Chelsea free kick. And it came off Quinn, I think. On the ball. It's very strong in the air in both penalty boxes, Louise Quinn. Much part of the Irish team's current World Cup qualifying campaign, as is Batman with the Swiss setup. She once got Rachel Brown-Finnis sent off in a game.
She did.
She did. It was shameful. I don't know whether there was an apology out at the end of it.
I think we've just forgiven her.
Batman in towards the near post, a little touch on. And it cleared away by Arsenal. Chelsea very much in command now, this FA Cup final. There's a World Cup qualifier, Sue, 7 years ago, when she got the England goalkeeper dismissed. It was rescinded, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was awful. Rachel Brown, as you can imagine, was gutted.
I bet she argued the case.
As you would.
Yeah. Here's Nobbs away towards the left-hand side. That's turned the wrong way there. Van der Donk, she's got a higher roll now than Arsenal. They're behind. I think she should have had that higher roll right from the start. Here's Little. And away towards Lisa Evans. Not a good ball in to Midima, who was showing for it, coming in short for the ball to be played in defeat. Arsenal have actually gone up a gear, Susan's going behind.
Yeah, I think they've had to. But I think you mentioned Midima about that hold-up play. Even then, she didn't get a body across the defender. She allowed them to come in and just nick the ball off her.
Has she been a great success? She's got 8 goals for Arsenal, about a goal every other game since coming in last summer.
I don't think so, not yet. I think give her time, because we know she's a good player. We've seen her perform, and I think we've seen flashes of it, but maybe just not on a consistent enough basis. She'll probably score a worldie now.
Oh, by Quinn. It's a terrific European Championships last summer.
Yeah.
If we have a chance to go to Utrecht, I would really recommend that to anyone. There's Little now for Arsenal. Van der Donk is away to the left-hand side, Nobbs to the right. It's a long carry by Little, and she's found Midima. Big chance. Took too long. She took too long, and the challenge came back at her. And it was a side-saving challenge at that, but she should have buried the opportunity. Fantastic tackle by Chapman.
Yeah, it was, but she just took too many touches. Good play from Kin Little to actually spot the pass. Tried to get it infield on her right foot. Just hit it with your left foot.
At this level now, you have to have 2 good feet. And she should have hit that with the left, as you were saying. Here's Quinn. Too slow in getting the ball out wide to the left fullback who'd gone on, Mitchell. Fine challenge there by Little. And Arsenal now seem to have a better balance. Here's Nobbs. Van der Donk. Poor ball to me. Tried to win it back. And they'll come in the challenge, and Van der Donk was across there.
I think if any player's going to inspire this Arsenal team to get back into the game, it'll be Kim Little-Low. You know, she's got that big game experience, she's got that quality. Get her on the ball as much as possible.
She scored in 3 FA Cup finals for Arsenal, won a couple of them. Here's Bachmann. Kirby with the run. Bachmann with the support. Cromwell holding up against Dominic Janssen. She's had a really good FA Cup final. Bachmann, Kirby and G. Here's Spence. And I'm not ignoring her work rate, because she always makes herself available for that sort of ball in. Van der Donk, it's been a disappointment so far. And a little bit of a push and shove off the ball. There's G. Eriksson, dangerous ball into there. But Katie Chapman's had a fine final. Steered it away. Kirby, G. They've been the better side. They've had the better players out there. Here's Kirby. They're looking to double their lead now. Spence. That one brings under control. Early ball in, looking for Kirby. Well defended by Williamson. And really profited with the second ball, and Dominic Janssen got it away. Here's Beth Mead. Arsenal haven't got the ball out to her anywhere near enough. Now Chelsea have it again. Here's Blundell. Bright. Approaching the hour. Key moment in the game, moments in the game coming up. Here's Bachmann. Clever player, good effort. Oh, what a goal! Sensational from Ramona Bachmann. From the minute she picked up the ball, she looked dangerous. And Chelsea double their lead. And Emma Hayes has one hand on the FA Cup. And Bachmann has scored 2 goals.
She was good in the first half, but second half she's come out completely running the show. Absolutely brilliant from her. Cuts in onto her left foot. There's only one thing on her mind as she's cutting in field. Little step over, wrong foot's Mitchell, and going to that far corner. And again, Van Veenendaal just has no chance. Good play, great feet to wrong foot the defender. As soon as she got a yard, oh, it just took a deflection. I think it just took a deflection off Quinn, which maybe sent it over. I can't really see from that angle, but you can't take anything away from Bachmann and the quality that she's shown in this second half.
A big loop off Louise Quinn, but it was a superb goal by Ramona Bachmann. 2 goals in 12 minutes in this second period. And Chelsea very much in the ascendancy. 4th final in 7 years. And they look as if they're getting revenge on that Arsenal success in 2016. Unless Joe Montemurro can come up with something special. And there's Dan Carter on the bench. There's a World Cup winner on the bench as well in Heather O'Reilly. There's Jan McCabe, she's been playing up front. But here's Kirby. A little touch back there by Evans. The pressure is on by Spence. And it's a Chelsea free kick. She was just too strong there for Leah Williamson, who was hanging on for dear life.
just becoming a little bit disorganised at the back now, aren't they? Arsenal, but you could see there, Drew Spence, just great strength to win the ball back, and it is a foul by Leah Williamson.
(2-0 to Chelsea). Can Arsenal hold on here? Otherwise, it's goodbye to the FA Cup for them. Backman on a hat-trick. Bends it towards the far stick. And it was a decent header, but straight at the goalkeeper. Wasn't a bad effort at all there from Miriam Mjelde.
Good delivery by Backman. If you watch Mjelde, just gets across. Van der Donk, isn't it? Good, powerful header, but just couldn't get it either side.
Arsenal need to do something, and something quick.
I think
they're warming up. Sorry, Sue. They're warming up.
Right.
Heather O'Reilly, World Cup winner, who's going to come on, and they're going to take off Dominic Janssen. The holding midfield player is replaced by a more forward-thinking midfield player. 45,423, a new record for a Women's FA Cup final.
It's amazing, isn't it? How it's growing and growing.
Growing all the time. Remember, we did a final at Doncaster the other year. There were 5,000 there, I think. Here's Kirby. She's been excellent. Knobs with a big diagonal, trying to get it away to me. There's Millie Bright. If in doubt, get it out.
Looks like he's clearly moved Jordan Nobbs back to a more central position. Get her involved, try and tighten up a little bit, because they have looked disorganised, not just at the back, but throughout the midfield. Chelsea are dominating all over the park in the second half.
Away by Mjelde. G. They look the stronger team physically. They've certainly bounced back from that defeat against Wolfsburg in the Champions League semi-final. Here's Spence. Well claimed by Williamson. Jordan Nobbs. I think Arsenal have missed her in there, where she can be really influential. Just don't think they got their tactics right on the big day at all.
I'm not sure about the false wide player. It's difficult for Jordan Nobbs to know where to run, when to stay out wide, who you're going to get your width from if she does go infield. Maybe it's worked in certain games, but get her in the centre of the park, get her dictating the play. She's got the energy to get forward and support the forward line, and also get back and help out the defence.
Well, they now have a World Cup winner, Olympic gold medalist, on no less than 3 occasions out there, Heather O'Reilly. Now retired from the US scene. 231 internationals for the US.
It's not a bad player to be able to bring on, is it?
No. They had a weird international appearance record system, though, don't they? They give them official caps for, I don't know, if they turn up for breakfast in the team hotel or something. It's a bit weird. G. Chelsea deservedly 2-0 up. They're playing at their pace, they're dictating the tempo, they're in cruise control. The best of passes down the line, Evans is there. Williams sweeps it away, switches play to Mitchell. Ball hung in the air a long, long time. And a chance here to find me. Backman to G, Kirby's away on the left-hand side. G's allowed to carry. Arsenal suddenly look very leggy, very weary. Kirby slows down the defender and will go up through the gears in a minute, but misplaces the pass. See a lot of coaches at all levels working on that with a player. Slow down the defender and then kick up if you've got searing pace to get away.
And she's got that real change of pace.
Hobbs into Kim Little, and they can't keep it in play. Must be wonderful to be blessed with pace. I've got slow, dead slow. You were very quick in your day, weren't you?
It's all right at times.
Oh, I've seen the videos. Those baggy shorts for England. Back in the day, that must hurt now.
A few years ago now.
Well, he passed him away mark in the second half. Here's Quinn. Nobbs can dictate a game from in there. She's lost in the wider position. Not the best of passes in, and Mjolnir can bring it away. She's been as authoritative as normal. And it's a great run from Spence, but slightly too early. Backman with the vision and the pass. Now, Drew Spence isn't going to get any headlines, Sue, but I tell you what, she's played a very important role.
She's been superb. And I think here she just run offside, but what a run that is. Again, their movement, how they interchange positions. Spence will go forward, Backman will drop in. Great unit.
And a like-for-like substitution here now for Chelsea. Off goes Donna Anderson, I think, played really well. To replace by Maria Torres-Dottir. Norwegian fullback or central midfielder. That's where she played in the semi-final when G was unavailable because of international duty. She got injured in that game. Nobbs. Mitchell. Little.
Just needs more movement from the Arsenal front line. You see they're very straight. How Chelsea do it, they have one go short, one go long. They're moving constantly. Arsenal very easy, very predictable at the moment. Just making it difficult for the midfielders to find them.
Backman allowed to go wide with 20 minutes to go. A little bit later on, you have to pick a player of the match, Sue. I think with a couple of minutes to go, you have to name that name, so giving you that advance notice.
Give me a bit of time. Usually go through all of the players and give them a reason why.
That's right, yeah.
So
could be here until midnight, couldn't we, really? Quinn for Arsenal. A decent FA Cup final. 2 goals have been excellent though for Chelsea. Can Arsenal come back now? Evans swaps passes. A little error. Blundell. She doesn't want to be known as a role model as a woman coach, or to be particularly praised that she's still doing her job 33 weeks into pregnancy. She wants to be known as a role model as a coach alone, and says, well, most women go about their work at 33 weeks gone. Here comes Spence. But she is a very important voice for the women's game, is Emma Hayes, as Medina sets off in pursuit of Mjelde. Wouldn't you agree, Sue?
Yeah, totally agree. And you've got to love Emma Hayes, haven't you, for, you know, the comments that she comes out with, because of course she wants to be known as a coach, and she's a top quality coach in the women's game, but I just think she is a great role model because she is female, and she's paving that way for other females going into the coaching or the managing world.
Arsenal have conceded 2 in the FA Cup final since they lost to Everton in extra time in 2010. Kim Little played in that game and scored in that game. Liverpool scored a couple against them in '95, but Arsenal trapped. And Croydon, those when Croydon could reach an FA Cup final in the fledgling days of the competition, scored 2 against Arsenal, who won 3-2. Beth Mead, Arsenal can get one here. This cup final is very much alive. This is a good run by Mead, pulls it back, chance for Medina, and Arsenal do get one, and the FA Cup final of 2018 is very much alive.
Game on. That's completely down to Beth Mead and the absolute quality play there. She kept running. This is just a lovely little nutmeg. Sees Hannah Blundell give her the, you know, she got a yard, and then it's the quality then. So once she gets past Hannah Blundell, she looks up, plays Medina, who did well. She pulled her or she held her run, and then it was just a quality finish, just a side foot finish. So game on.
Well, it's her second goal in this season's FA Cup competition, and it certainly gained a little bit more coverage than her first, which was against Charlton early on in the run, as Chelsea prepared to make a change now. And Drew Spence departs. Worked her socks off again, always does. Just over a quarter of an hour to go. Marion Cuthbert comes on, Scottish international. She's having a very good season. She's scored 10 goals for Chelsea this campaign. She's only 19 years of age. She won the Cup in Scotland with Glasgow City. She's got 5 goals in this competition this season. Hat-trick against London Bees, couple against Doncaster in the next round. Arsenal right back in it. First run was to run direct at the Arsenal left-back. That's the pendulum turn. He got back well there to dispossess Nobbs. O'Reilly was ploughed into the ground there. Van der Donk. Sluggish on the ball and caught in possession. Not as strong as Katie Chapman. She's not going to win a physical battle against Katie Chapman. Very few people do.
And I think Van der Donk's getting frustrated because of that, because she can't get by Katie Chapman. She's winning that battle.
And here's Kirby for Chelsea. Trying to worm her way through the penalty area. Cuthbert on the outside and steered away sensibly by Quinn. A bright and breezy individual, young Scottish teenager with 4 goals already for her country. Scored recently with Poland, I think it was. And here's Kirby, yard of space for her. Kirby onto her left foot, plants it brilliantly. A goal fitting enough to win any FA Cup final, any day, anywhere. And Chelsea's 2-goal lead is restored. Magnificent goal from the Women's Footballer of the Year. Fran Kirby makes it Arsenal 1, Chelsea 3, and has that ended Arsenal's comeback? And does that push the FA Cup closer to the hands of Emma Hayes?
Exactly what Chelsea needed. Fran Kirby, though, just found a little pocket of space. Nobody went with her. Good first touch, drives at the defence, and that's why she's so difficult to mark, because you don't know if she's going to go on her left side, because she's just as confident on her left foot as she is with her right foot. But that's just absolute perfect technique, just curling it into the bottom corner. Don't hit it as hard as you can. If you can place it, do that. And she is so clinical when she gets an opportunity.
Just inside the far post, excellently hit for a 6th goal in the FA Cup campaign this season. And Arsenal were effectively back in the game for no more than 3 minutes. Chelsea's goals have smacked of quality. What can Arsenal do here? Because players are tiring all over the pitch. The heat has taken its toll. It's a beautiful evening. The sun is still streaming down in that one little section of the ground. Medina couldn't win it back for Arsenal. Katie Chapman has steered it wide and out of play. I think Blundell has played well for Chelsea. She's effectively kept Beth Mead in check. That's no mean feat. Arsenal look for the run of Nobbs. It's just crept on through.
That really deflates you as a player as well, when you think you're back into the game at 2-1. You could see physically the shoulders dropped as soon as Fran Kirby got that 3rd goal.
Chelsea look to find Kirby again. Cut out by Evans, it was initially. Chapman is there once again. Here's G. Kirby to pressurise Lisa Evans. That's a good battle. 2 quick players. Should be important in coming games for Scotland, Lisa Evans. They scored against Albania in their current World Cup campaign. They reached the Europeans in the summer, and they really did very well. And lucky not to go through in the end to the later stages. Here's G. And the chase for Mitchell and Cuthbert, 2 international teammates. Nobbs. Quinn has played her into danger, but in that little tight space she did it well. Got it out wide, and is there again. Jordan Nobbs, Katie Chapman, a typically abrasive challenge. One of the unsung heroes of Chelsea's performance so far. She's been immense for Chelsea against their old side, Katie Chapman.
She's done so well. Like I say, she won't get the headlines, but what she does is so effective for her team.
And Carter's going to come on for Arsenal any moment. There's O'Reilly. Oh, now was she brought down right on the edge of the penalty area. She claims a foul there by Magdalena Eriksson, and that could have been an important decision with 10 minutes to go.
I've got to say, on first look, it looked like a foul to me.
I thought she might fractionally have been outside. But that's lifted Arsenal again. Van der Donk, no great support. Difficult ball to deal with.
Yeah, Heather O'Reilly does well to get in front.
Do you know, I'm not even sure that's a foul. I don't think that's a foul.
I'm not sure.
I think she won the ball, and I think there was a coming together afterwards.
I think it would have only been a free kick anyway.
Yeah, it was outside the box, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Medina wants it through the middle. There's Bright. I think McCabe is going to come on and Dan Carter for Arsenal. So they're going to throw everything at it. I think McCabe's a winger who can play through the middle, once described as being a fantastic talent when she first signed for the club. from Shelbourne ladies. And they're double in Irish football. Little headers dropped back short. And the Chelsea goalkeeper Lindahl had to be on her toes there.
She anticipated it well. Lindahl could see that Beth Mead was closing in on her. So she's a real presence, Lindahl.
Well, they're going to have to sacrifice defenders, Arsenal. 3-1 down with 8 minutes to go plus. Here's Cuthbert. Goes beyond Mitchell, who's tiring noticeably. Backman was on a hat-trick there. Mitchell was struggling to stay with the Chelsea substitute.
Emma Hayes has clearly said to Cuthbert, every time you get the ball, run at her, have a go. And they are international teammates.
And they don't want it. Here's Knox. There's Katie Chapman again. I know there's the obvious to think about in Ramona Backman. There's G, there's Kirby. I think Katie Chapman has been absolutely immense for Chelsea. Here's Backman. Lovely play. G. Out wide to Torres Dottir. Too much pace on the pass for the Norwegian. Decent turn to the dead ball line. In comes across. And hooked away. Went down looking for a decision there. Maria Torres Dottir, I think it was a fair challenge.
Great quick feet. Takes on Van der Donk. Van der Donk that came in. I think that's a shout for a penalty there.
Looking at it again, certainly had a shout. Well, off goes Emma Mitchell. On comes McCabe for Arsenal. And the other fullback's going to go as well. Lisa Evans is being replaced by Dan Carter.
This is a change in formation here for Arsenal. Whether they'll go to 3 at the back.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
They've got to commit more players forward. It's great to see Dan Carter here coming on. Again, a player that can make things happen.
And a really big moment up and coming for Chelsea any minute there. Going to try and get Eni Aluko on. She's waiting to come on. Aluko, they can't understand why the referee won't allow her to come on. There's a breakdown in communication here. But Ramona Backman goes off to a standing ovation from the Chelsea supporters. Her 2 goals right at the start of the second half, within 14 minutes of the restart, really turned this FA Cup final towards Chelsea. And on comes Eni Aluko, whose season started in controversial fashion with the brouhaha at England level. Here's Cuthbert, good strike, but wide. And the season ends for Eni Aluko back at a Wembley final in the FA Cup with Birmingham against Chelsea. And she won it with Chelsea against Notts, and she's here again.
Do you know, she started in the Champions League semi-final and did really well. Considering she's not played much football, she's very lively.
Not many starts this season, has she? She rolls from the bench. Arsenal look for Carter. She's gone left-hand side. Medina through the middle. O'Reilly on the right. Up towards Dan Carter, didn't stick with her. Four and a half minutes to go. Arsenal need a miracle. Steered forward by Torres Dottir to G. Away towards the left-hand side. Looks like here then for Fran Kirby. Torres Dottir. Too tight to the line. 4 minutes to go. Just a little bit of miscommunication between Williamson and Little, who's there now for Arsenal. Good turn, banded on into the space, 4 ahead of her. Not a good ball, she hasn't had a good final. She'll be really disappointed. Big stage player, did so well in the Europeans for Holland last year. Now Nobbs. Okay, back to her. Little. And it bounced awkwardly in a way, and that really sums up Arsenal's day. They haven't been able to find Beth Mead at all. Sue, with about 3 minutes to go, who's your player of the match then?
You mentioned obviously earlier Katie Chapman's been brilliant. G in the middle of the park, 2 front players, Kirby, but I've got to go for Ramona Bachmann. I think she's been outstanding. I think you wanted a moment of brilliance, didn't you, to change the game, and she offered that twice.
2 good goals, Chelsea leading by 3 goals to 1. I think most people would agree with your decision. Sue Smith. By the way, everyone out there, if you're ever lucky enough, I would say, to be in a restaurant with Sue, make sure it's a simple menu, because if there are too many items on the menu, it can take hours. It can take hours. And you're sitting there going, go on, pick a soup, have a soup, and something with vegetables, that's it. It can still take hours.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad then, they only named 4.
He did. Here's Carter. Chance here then for O'Reilly. Can they breathe new life into the final again? Away to Kirby. She's got away on that right-hand side. Cuthbert goes left, looking for Iluko. Well, wouldn't it be something if Annie Iluko could get a goal here? She's had a tempestuous and a controversial season, Sue, hasn't she?
She has, but she would absolutely love to get a goal in the FA Cup final.
Loves playing football, that's for sure. Here's Kirby. Good run from her. Iluko can't get a place in the regular starting lineup for Chelsea because of Kirby. Might have to move in the summer. Gee, the little dummy. Here's Chapman. Into the last minute, and then stoppage time. There'll be a bit of that, I would think. Cuthbert, free kick.
She's looked really lively since she's come on. You ask for that impact off the bench, and certainly what she's brought.
No, we'll have 5 minutes of stoppage time, I'm told. Here's G into the corner flag area. Hot day, keep your head in there. Here's Iluko. Patted away in uncomfortable fashion there. Nearly squeezed in.
But that's a chance, Annie Iluko. Pace to get by, and she was just aiming for that near corner. But Minadel didn't look too comfortable with that.
Well, they were going to take the corner quickly. In the end, they've hesitated over it. Second corner of the game for Chelsea, and she was trying to force a third. And into those 5 minutes of stoppage time now. There's this constant din in an Women's FA Cup final. The noise is, as you'd expect, more shrill than a Men's FA Cup final. High percentage of girls here to watch their idols, but it's a fantastic atmosphere, and I really would encourage any of you to come. Next year it'll be here again. Kids are free. cheap for adults. It's a terrific day being around. I still call it the old stadium, but then I'm an old-fashioned sort of old guy.
I've got to agree with you though. Not with that. Not the last bit. Just that it is such a family atmosphere, great atmosphere, and I'd say go and watch your WSL team as well.
Here's Kirby, Cuthbert making the run, being chased across there by Beth Mead, and well done. The Arsenal striker, who won't look back on this final with fondness because she's been starved of the ball, but she worked so diligently to get back there.
And I think when she has had it, she's done well.
Yeah.
Creating that goal, but she's looked the threat. I think from an individual perspective, she'll probably be quite pleased, but just, you want to be winning finals, don't you?
They've had 2 shots on target in the game, Mead, and then the goal by Medina. It's not enough. Chelsea have shown their quality today. Their quality players have shone. Arsenal's quality players haven't really been able to get into the game.
Yeah, and that can happen in FA Cup finals. How do you cope with that big occasion? Chelsea have coped.
Chelsea taking their time. And Carter tried to get it away. Kirby nagging away. Here's Van der Donk. Now put pressure on her, Chelsea. And she's won the free kick. But she hasn't won too many of those tussles. And she's grumbled and she's muttered. And she hasn't looked happy. One in the air by Millie Bright. Took a crunching fall there, Millie Bright. Limping away. It's made of stern stuff. Here's Kirby. Is she bold enough to go for a Chelsea goal, or will she take it to the corner? That's what a manager wanted to do, go in there and cleverly win the corner kick.
Intelligent play from Kirby.
She could be if England qualify for the World Cup finals in France next year, she could be a superstar there.
Definitely. The form that she's in, how confident she is, and it's just how clinical she is in front of goal. Real bright player.
Well, what we've seen of her this season, you know, her form has matched that of the likes of Virginie Le Sommer, Lyon players like that. I'd elevate her to that sort of level.
Definitely.
She's one of the world's best.
And she doesn't just do it in the, you know, maybe the smaller games. She does it for international. She does it in Champions League, in FA Cup finals. That's a sign of a good player if you can do it at that level.
She's done it here. Seconds to go. Kirby and G. Back to Enioluka. Here's Torres Dottir. G. Here's Kirby. Looking along the line, staying onside. Keep it in that area again, right in front of the Chelsea supporters. This is a goal kick this time. We've had the 5 minutes of stoppage time. And Chelsea are moments away from what they hope will be one half of the domestic double. Chelsea win the FA Cup of 2018. Fran Kirby's goal, adding to the 2 from Ramona Bachmann. And what a few weeks it could be for Emma Hayes. The FA Cup, they're still very much in the title race. And then there's the twins to come for Emma. And there was a twin strike force of Bachmann and Kirby that did it for Chelsea today. They've beaten Arsenal in the cup final by 3-1, sir.
Best teams won on the day. Second half, I think Chelsea come out a different side. I think they upped the intensity, they upped the pace of the play. Ramona Bachmann clearly said, I'm going to take this game by the scruff of the neck, because that's exactly what she did. Couple of moments of brilliance, and then another one from Fran Kirby. And that's the difference when you mentioned it in commentary, that you have some quality players. Both teams have international class, but it's who turns up on the day. And Chelsea's players did, and you have to mention the 2 centre midfielders of Chapman and G. They run the show in there.
Arsenal's 16th FA Cup final, only their second defeat and they have been well beaten in the end by 3-1 here at Wembley by this very fine Chelsea side.
Chelsea, they were composed, they were in control in that first half, they just couldn't get the final ball, but almost immediately as the second half began, the intention was clear, and the energy, the endeavour, the work in midfield and the quality they've shown all season, Emma Hayes' side, came into fruition.
The better team won, Gabby, simple as that. Chelsea players they showed up today. We were undone, this Arsenal team, by sheer individual class. Fran Kirby, Ramona Bachmann, you had G. Defensively, you had solid performances from Katie Chapman. And I'm struggling going through this Arsenal team today to name any outstanding players.
You needed moments of magic from them when they finally got the ball, got into the final third, and it just fell apart, didn't it? There was nothing for them to build on.
Yeah, we mentioned at the beginning the lack of experience that was in that Arsenal team, and I think that showed when Chelsea took the advantage, took the lead, it went flat. Arsenal didn't have a response. There certainly wasn't anything in evidence on the pitch, and your big players did not shine today at all for Arsenal, whereas that is the complete reverse for Chelsea. The likes of G, the front three for Chelsea were absolutely fabulous.
We said ahead of the match, Alex, that they were hurting 2 years ago when they lost this final. And the lion's share of this squad is still there. They've learned, they've grown. We've seen that in their league performances, and they were not going to leave Wembley Stadium today without righting what they felt was that wrong.
Absolutely, and that's what, as a player, it's the worst. These Arsenal players will be feeling that. The regret, they'll be going off this pitch thinking, I could have done this, I could have done better. And Chelsea felt that 2 years ago, and you could see from the kick-off today, they didn't want that feeling again today.
Chelsea's just built the momentum, and even when Arsenal got that goal back, 3 minutes later, Chelsea's response, what was it? It was to go on and score another goal. They just controlled every ebb and flow of this game today, and by far the more outstanding team. Emma Hayes, I'm really pleased for her. She's building something really special at this club.
And you saw there Bachmann and Kirby, who linked so brilliantly together throughout the match, didn't they? Really world class the way they played today.
It was, and Rachel, we said in the first half it was only a matter of time. The link-up play between them both, and they both deservedly got on the score sheet. Ramona Bachmann, individual brilliance, but Fran Kirby was driving this team forward from the start, from the kick-off. And they were. Chelsea were the better team, hands down. I know that pains me to say it, but they deserve to be winners today.
Let's hear from them. Ailey Barber is with Fran Kirby and Ramona Bachmann.
Ramona, just listen to this noise. What an incredible occasion. Can you sum it up right now?
It's an amazing feeling. I think every footballer dreams one day to play at Wembley, and to even win it is right now the best feeling.
You certainly love the big stage. You showed it again today, 2 cracking finishes.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't scored that much this year, but it's not important when you have Fran on side who scores all the time. So I think it doesn't really matter who scores as long as we score the goals. But it was an amazing feeling to score in front of so many people.
I know, Fran, it was like you were trying to outdo her with your finish at the end there, but so important because Arsenal were just beginning to come back into it.
Yeah, I think we'd be disappointed that we let them, get a goal. We dominated pretty much the whole game. I think, it was incredible for us to go on the pitch and, be able to play at Wembley. And, luckily I managed to get a goal straight after, but, it all started with this one.
It's been a phenomenal season for you on a personal level, the accolades and the awards that you've won, but your first FA Cup win on the pitch. I mean, how does this one compare?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it in previous interviews, it's great to win the individual awards, but the main ones are what you win with your team. And, I've been really looking forward to this day, since we got through against City. And I don't know, I had a feeling today that, we were going to do well and we were going to win. So that's more important to me.
Well, congratulations to both of you. It was very, very close for player of the match, but Ramona, you just edged it. So I'm going to introduce Lucy and Kurt to present you with the award. Congratulations, guys.
Kurt Littlechild and Lucy Chick there won a competition to present the player of the match, and that's a moment they'll certainly never forget. And Ramona Bachmann as well, clearly an understanding of the history of this incredible stadium, the 45,000 plus crowd that are here as well, a record crowd to watch this final, and the great players rise to the occasion.
They absolutely do, and it was so hard, Sue Smith in commentary, to pick a player of the match between them two. it's just how they link up. I like it as well, like she was saying, it's not important if I score the goal or Fran Kirby, and that's what we saw out there today from this Chelsea team, a real team effort.
Right from the beginning, you can see how those front three have now played together for at least 3 years. Ji-Soyun, I think, has been there 4 or maybe even 5 years, and you can see that. The understanding, the link-up, the 1-2 touches, the intricacies of their play in that final third are what undid Arsenal right from the very beginning. And that's something, if you flip it, the likes of Miedema, they just didn't have that.
Let's have a little look then at Ramona Bachmann's goals. She said she hasn't scored enough in the league. She made up for it today, Alex.
She sure did on the big occasion. But it's that individual brilliance. She did it in the first half, getting on the ball and driving at players, finding the pockets here as well. Her first thought, can I drive? Can I get myself in the box? That link-up play with Fran Kirby. And it's a great, well-executed finish.
And beautiful timing of the pass as well from Fran Kirby. She just ran, Ramona Bachmann could just run onto it and hit it first time. This time, Ramona Bachmann running down the right. Again, Emma Mitchell, Janssen it was on that occasion, just didn't engage, just didn't get tight enough. Nobody puts pressure on the ball. Takes a deflection, ultimately, and goes over Van Veenendaal. But I don't think defensively Arsenal did enough today to stop the superpowers of those front three.
And it's not like they didn't know what they're about, Chelsea, you know. They obviously have, you know, they've had, there they are going up for their losers' medals. That's not a great moment for any team, is it, at Wembley?
That's why you're sat here, Alex.
That's not what I
just
wanted
in
to
case.
See it's not what I wanted to see.
Well, Miedema, she should be the class act in there. She is the Dutch European finalist, of course. She performed in front of a home crowd in those championships, so she has got the composure, but in front of goal today, she did it.
Well, that was kind of, she had 2 chances. One in the first half, we saw Hannah Blundell did really well to block. On this occasion, her movement's excellent. She comes in with the defender, then just checks off, finds a little pocket of space, as we highlighted there. 5 defenders, just checks off, and a really great pullback from Beth Mead. Good work from her to get past Hannah Blundell in the first place. Got Arsenal back in the game, but only very temporarily.
I have to say, she did actually come into this final off the back of a couple of injuries. She's only trained once, and I think you could see that throughout the 90 minutes. She was lacklustre at times, and I think Arsenal needed some extra energy up around to support her quicker.
I mean, Miedema's still only 21. She's shone for her country. She's shone for the various clubs she's been at. But she's been hampered a little bit by various injuries this season, and she's not really kind of gathered that momentum. I think we're expecting, certainly off the back of her success in the Euros, she's not really kind of shone in this league.
Well, Joe Montemurro, he is kind of rebuilding, isn't he, there at Arsenal? It clearly is a team in transition, and she will be one of those players who'll be looking to build around going forwards.
Absolutely, she is a huge player. Like Rachel said, she's 21, and the majority, like we alluded to at the top of this show, it's a different leadership coming through this team with the likes of Jordan Nobbs, Miedema, and they will remember this. This will hurt them, but they have to take these experiences and grow and want it again and get to next year's cup final.
The likes of Kim Little as well, I think, will be disappointed with the lack of their performances, the lack of standout performances, and certainly Daniela van der Donk as well.
And of course, Fran Kirby, just incredible in all areas of the pitch in terms of the creation, her work rate, and so glad for her that she got herself on the score sheet.
I have to say I'm glad as well. The season she is having, her ability, either foot, to pick that out in the corner. The goalkeeper had no chance there. It's just sheer quality from Fran Kirby, and she's shown it time and time again on the big occasion like this.
I mean, that's not her preferred foot, but if you back off Fran Kirby, if you don't engage, go down the line against Fran Kirby, that's what she's going to do to you.
And they're lining up there to make their way up to the royal box. What a moment for them, what a moment for Emma Hayes as well, who is weeks away from giving birth to twins.
I don't think she'll be walking up those steps.
No,
really.
well, I've been in that situation. I couldn't walk up the stairs of my own house. But she is looking like she's got some energy and adrenaline pumping through her body right now. Well, she might. Let's hand you back to the inimitable combination of Jonathan Pearce and Sue Smith.
Thanks, Gabby. Sue's actually departed the commentary position. She's gone down to interview one of the managers down there, as Chili Flaherty, who didn't make it off the bench today, leads the Chelsea players up to pick up their second FA Cup trophy, and they become the 8th different club to win more than a single FA Cup. Arsenal 14 trophy successes, Southampton 8, the Donny Bells 6, Everton 2, Croydon 2, Fulham 2, Millwall 2, and now Chelsea 2. Beautiful day, record crowd. Wembley, a picture, and Chelsea worthy winners. Up they come then. The 2 goals of Ramona Bachmann and the clincher by Fran Kirby. And all the players who couldn't be here played such a part. Good to see Karen Carney here. She battles back from injury. There's Ramona Bachmann going through, and Eni Aluko got on in another final as well. And there's Emma Hayes, who gave each of those players that orange rose from her garden today, and the little message says Karen going up through, Karen Carney, Erin Cuthbert, who came off the bench with her burst of energy and pace, with the swish of the ponytail there, and Carly Telford, who has big games to come for her country in the future. Millie Bright with the blonde hair, tower of strength at the back for club and country now, former striker, then midfield player. She's 4th in line as she goes through, and there's the cup waiting to be lifted. Didn't Hannah Blundell, wearing 3, play so very well in curbing the threat of Beth Mead and Spence, but in such a hard-working display. They've waited for this moment. There's Ramona Bachmann, Sue's player of the afternoon, and Eni Aluko. Really big moment this for her. Fran Kirby, many big moments to come for her in the future, I am sure, as she took her season's tally to 23. This week she will lift the Women's Footballer of the Year trophy for the first time ever. Chelsea, a wonderful day for them, and it's good they've remembered the players who couldn't be part of it today. Anita Sante is here today, good to see her as well. They're up on the rostrum, ready to get the FA Cup. For Katie Chapman, it will be a remarkable moment if there's enough room for her up there, because she will get her hands, as she comes through around the back, on the FA Cup for the 10th time, and she was superb. Katie Chapman, 10 times an FA Cup winner with her various clubs, lifts the FA Cup. The girls who got the orange rose from their manager, which symbolise enthusiasm and desire and unlimited energy and pride and best wishes. The bridge the rose was said to be between platonic love and friendship. It denotes, said Emma, the inspiration in your life. It says Emma Hayes, I am so proud of you. And Emma Hayes and Chelsea are the pride of West London, and they have won the FA Cup of 2018.
Fantastic scenes, and this could be just the first part of a double, of course, for Chelsea, because they are joint leaders in second place behind Manchester City with 3 matches to go in the league. And ironically, they'll be looking to Arsenal to pick themselves up from today and do them a favour, because that's their next opponent, Manchester City.
Absolutely, but then in the same breath, I would like to see a reaction from the Arsenal players as well. You need to end the season on a high. You need to put this performance behind you now. You need to find your rhythm against Man City, and you need to go again.
But for Chelsea, this is really, you know, it's been a few years building this, what they hope is going to be a dominance in the game, and with Emma Hayes at the helm and the talent they have in there, you wouldn't bet them against them dominating for a good few years to come.
They're in very good hands. She's a very intelligent coach, a wonderful manager. Even the expressions of the roses and the note that she put with her players. She knows the players so well, and as you said, she's building not just for now and the success they're having, but the future is certainly looking very bright for them.
Tracy Neville there, just congratulating. She knows exactly what this kind of moment is like, and it's been a wonderful advert for the women's game. Thank you so much to Alex and Rachel. Chelsea ladies win their second Women's FA Cup. It was Bachmann Kirby Overdrive. Women's football, you ain't seen nothing yet. From all of us, goodbye.
Kirby, back to the Swiss international, Chelsea lead. Sensation. from Ramona Bachmann. Arsenal do get one. Kirby onto a left foot, dances brilliantly. Chelsea win the FA Cup.